What is next for the Baltimore Ravens? After a heartbreaking Super Wildcard Weekend loss, we look forward to the 2023 offseason for the Baltimore Ravens. What is next and why this is the season of almost for the Baltimore Ravens? Coming to you right after this. What's going on, Flex Zone family? God's favorite host, the host with the moist, back here on the Flex Zone podcast. Only place on YouTube giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. Back again with another Baltimore Ravens video. You see the title, you see it in the description down below. What is next for the Baltimore Ravens and the season of almost? 2022 will be known to me as the season of almost for the Baltimore Ravens. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. If ifs were fifths, we'd all be drunk. If my aunt had stones, she'd be my uncle. All the puns and innuendo you would like to use are appropriate here for the Baltimore Ravens. After yesterday's wildcard weekend loss to the Bengals, things we as Ravens fans have been gloomy about, down about, melancholy about, we have to let go. We all have to take in a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out, woosah, let it go. The season is over. While it is yet another frustrating ending to a potentially great season it could have been, we have to be positive and be optimistic and really ask the tough questions of what's next for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, if you go back looking at this season, and I called it the season of almost is because during the offseason, it kind of started to me with the Lamar Jackson contract situation. We heard a number they may have offered him. Then we heard him refute that number. We see guys like Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray getting big-time guaranteed contracts with incentives, but getting big numbers, making them some of the highest-paid players and, of course, quarterbacks in the NFL. And Lamar Jackson has done just as much, if not more, than a Russell Wilson without winning a Super Bowl, obviously, and has done more than Kyler Murray. Now, with that being said, the Lamar contract situation, they couldn't get that figured out. Then you get into the season, we got the Ronnie Stanley situation. He's practicing, he's not playing. Then week one, we lose Kyle Fuller. Was a very good addition, a hometown kid. We lose him to injury for the year. We then lose Michael Pierce to injury for the year. We eventually lose J.K. Dobbins, who didn't even have 100% of himself, had to go get rescoped again. Went to the team because he knew it wasn't right, because the medical staff, the training staff, yet again, misdiagnosed, misinterpreted his injury, and he wasn't right. Rashad Bateman, number one receiver. Behind Mark Andrews, the guy with the most yak, the most explosiveness when catching the football. Devin Duvernay, all-pro, first-team Pro Bowl return. Barely used sparingly. 1 week he has a big-time game with touchdowns. The next week, maybe 1 or 2 targets, if that. 1 catch here and there. Gus Edwards, he started the year on injured reserve. Took him some time to come back. Marcus Peters, he came back eventually, but then he looked like burnt toast at times. Like he wasn't physically or mentally into the game fully. But then there are games like last night where he's playing big-time moments. But then there's situations where he's fussing on the sideline with Harbaugh and getting in teammates' faces and fussing with the head coaches I mentioned. He could be gone. Calais Campbell battled some injuries. He could be gone. Kyle Hamilton started off shaky. Questions of if he was the right pick at 14. He finished his year off great, and I love his future. Tyler Lindenbaum, I think he comes in and does a fantastic job. But sometimes some bad snaps here and there, some holding penalties. This was almost a great game. This was almost a big-time play, but a costly mistake. Then, of course, the Lamar Jackson injury. Yet again, over the last 2 seasons, he's missed 11 games. Lamar's injuries last year in the pocket with the ankle in Cleveland. This year at home against Denver in the pocket with the knee. He's stumbling, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, limping up the steps. Sprained PCL, grade 2, possibly grade 3. Grade 3 is an equivalent almost to an ACL. Will Lamar Jackson need possible offseason surgery? Will he be 100% possibly ready for training camp next year? Could he need a 9-month recovery after possibly needing surgery if it is a grade 3 strain almost? Or is it a situation where he is maybe 70, 80%, where he may be only 2 to 3 more weeks away from being back to potentially playing football? These are questions we need answers to. The blown leads. If I just look at some of these games, started with the Dolphins game, 42 to 38. Should have won that game. Like I said, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Ifs were fifths. On had Stone should be my uncle. Almost. Bills 23-20. Giants 24-20. Jaguars 28-27. Shall I continue? Steelers 16-13. Bengals in the playoffs. Ball inside the 3-yard line. Oh boy, your quarterback thinks he's Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, whomever tries to jump over the top like Superman. Gets the ball knocked away. Almost. Blown leads. Being a front-running team, not being able to close the door. Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Terrible clock management. Every time we see the play call come in, it's under 5 seconds. They're hiking the ball. It's 1, sometimes even 0. Maybe could have been even more delay of game penalties on this team. Execution in the red zone. There was none. Mismanagement of not using timeouts. Storing them in their pocket for what? The next week? Or in the case of last night, next preseason? Where they're great in the preseason? What is it? What is it going to be? Greg Roman, the offensive ineptitude of the passing game. Yeah, they were number 2 in the rushing game, and he does a great job with the running game. But his passing offense is never outside of the 20s. After 3 years, it's like people figure him out, and he's stagnant, and he cannot evolve. He can't scheme guys open. He has a lack of creativity and innovation. Lacks that killer instinct, that killer play that you need on 3rd, 4th, and short inside the red zone to get us that needed touchdown. He'll call great plays getting into the red zone. He'll call 7, 8 great plays. Then when he needs those 2 or 3 plays in the red zone, he folds like a lawn chair. They did a great thing getting Roquan Smith. Sign him to a long-term deal. Wonderful trade deadline yet again, Eric DeCosta. You've done a great job throughout your tenure. Ajabo, can't forget that injury. Owe, underachieved, even though he played good yesterday. Marlon Humphrey played good as anybody in the defensive back position. He played very well. Marcus Peters dealing with injury. Him being out for an extended period definitely hurt this team. But I think the defense is set. The defense is fine. Mike McDonald proved he is a capable defensive coordinator. Yes, the first 5, 6 weeks of the season, he struggled. His defense couldn't close it out, couldn't get off the field on 3rd down, get timely sacks. Yesterday, he did a great job mixing up his coverages, his looks, his packages, attacking their weaknesses on the offensive line, playing great coverage, not giving up big plays, making timely stops on 3rd down, being very good in the red zone. Mike McDonald and that defense, I'm keeping everybody on that side of the ball. You have something there. You have a top 5 defense potentially going into next season. I do think they need to add some pieces, especially to the secondary, and maybe another guy up front, a front 7, but you got something to work with there. You have potentially the best division, the best defense in the division. It has to be known. You signed Sammy Watkins. You signed Deshaun Jackson. You end up cutting Deshaun Jackson. What's it going to be? Charlie Kohler last week, he played fantastic. This week, he's not even active. Those are some things that just stood out to me as why this is a season of almost. Why it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda. Ifs were fifths. Aunt had stones, she'd be my uncle. Now, what's next for the Baltimore Ravens? The actual question. First and foremost, I know Harbaugh likes to take his time after the season and speaking to the media. I know last year they waited some time before they spoke and actually fired Wink. But I think within the next 48 to 72 hours, we need Harbaugh, DeCosta, Bisciotti to say something or make a statement by saying something by relieving Greg Roman of his duties. He could have stayed in Cincinnati for all I care. By Friday, Greg Roman needs to go. And I need to hear from Harbaugh that he got rid of him and that they are searching for a new offensive coordinator. Somebody who has the young, innovative offensive mind of today's football that can be efficient, innovative, creative in the passing game when you have a Ferrari, hopefully, and Lamar Jackson as your quarterback for 2023. You need to get with Lamar, talk to him, figure out when you guys are going to start negotiations again. Figure out his medical status. Is he going to be 100% to go next season? He's tweeting. He's saying things on his Instagram story. The Ravens are leaking things to various insiders. Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter saying, oh, we want Lamar. We want to resume negotiations. We want to get him a long-term deal. Great. Lamar, you're going to have to meet the Ravens in the middle. The Ravens, you're going to have to meet Lamar in the middle. It's a negotiation. It's not just give me what I want, and that's it. It has to be a compromise, a negotiation to come together for a common goal. Yes, we'll pay you. Yes, we'll surround you with weapons. Yes, we'll make you be the best Lamar you can be, get your new offensive coordinator. But we cannot give you all of the money guaranteed. You have to prove you can stay healthy. And hence why I think a franchise tag is inevitable for Lamar Jackson. People are talking about trade. I don't think he has his most trade value right now with the injuries, missing 11 games the past 2 seasons. And I think the Ravens would be foolish to not at least starting a conversation with at least 3 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson and his capabilities as a player. Salary cap. The Ravens are always in cap hell. What do they do with the salary cap? They got to create cap space. They got to renegotiate, restructure some deals, maybe extend some people to help out the cap. You got Roquan signed. That helps out a lot. Your defense, like I said, you got Roquan, Kyle Hamilton, Pat Queen, pick up his 5th-year option. You got Marcus Williams, he signed long-term. You got Marlowe. That's your nucleus of your defense. You're fine. Ajabo. Hopefully, Owe continues to get better. Project Washington showed a lot this year. Travis Jones. You got something on defense. As I said, you got to provide, sit down, get a new offensive coordinator, get with Lamar, figure out his medical status, what he needs to be 100% for the season, and figure out what you guys have to do to get a long-term deal. Then you have to tell Lamar, we're going to surround you with the best weapons we can. Maybe using that first-round draft pick they had to go and get a veteran guy, a DeAndre Hopkins. You could put names in the comments, whoever you want to see. They need to add at least one more receiver, get Bateman back, have Andrews, likely Kohler, use J.K. Dobbins, figure out what you're going to do with him going into his inevitable contract year. Ronnie Stanley, is he going to be healthy for next year? Is he still going to be the Ronnie Stanley we need? Because if not, we may need another offensive tackle. Morgan Moses, is he coming back? We may need a right side. The whole right side could be redone with Zeitler and Moses. You got Linderbaum. You got Powers. I think you got 2 guys there. Let me know. Powers very improved on the offensive line. That is what's next for the Baltimore Ravens. A very intriguing, a very noteworthy, newsworthy offseason with a lot of storylines. This is the season of almost. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Ifs were fifths, we'd all be drunk. If my aunt had stones, she'd be my uncle. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Baltimore Ravens and the 2022 campaign. What's next for them? Is this the season of almost? And do you agree with me that Greg Roman needs to be fired no later than Friday, and we need to hear from Harbaugh at a press conference, and they need to start their search with someone from a Kyle Shanahan tree, a Sean McVay tree? You got Mike McDaniel in Miami, somebody from his crew. Somebody up in Detroit. Who would you guys like? Somebody from Kansas City. They got people. Somebody from the college ranks. Some of these guys that win the national championship game at Georgia. Let me know. What's next for the Ravens? Is this a season of almost, the blown leads, the poor clock management? Just think, with those 5-6 games I named, especially during the regular season with those 5, if they would have won 2 or 3 of them, think about where they would be record-wise. They would have won this division. They would have second or third best record in the AFC. They wouldn't even be on the road. Be playing at home. Harbaugh loses his first wildcard weekend road game. Ravens lose their first wildcard weekend road game as an organization. God's favorite host, the host of the Way, signing off. Hit the bell to know when we're live for all videos and when they drop as well. More content coming throughout the offseason. New episode of Flex Zone Podcast tonight, 10 p.m. Hit the bell, like I said, to know when we're live. Hit the like button. If you liked anything I said, agree with it, have any input, you like what you heard, woosah. Breathe in, breathe out. Hit the like button, help out the YouTube algorithm. And of course, hit that subscribe button if you're new. This is the only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. We do this each and every day. Ravens content, NFL content, all types of content on the Flex On podcast. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. I'm signing off. Comment down. Let me know what you think about the Baltimore Ravens, the season as a whole, what's next, and why this is the season of almost. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tonight for the Flex On podcast.